Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show where, after the collision, we sift through
the wreckage.
Boy. There you go. I did it. I am your host, Jimmy T. He is my co-host, the best in the world, Jamie the Vet Williams, and you are watching and listening live on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel, and of course on the Twitch and at the Patreon after the fact. Vet, welcome back to your show, and what a funny week it's been in pro wrestling, because I've got some funny news that has to do with Grand Slam Australia, shall I say.
Let's get right into it.
Well, let's get right into it, as a matter of fact, because they did have a house show called House Rules, of course. That's what they call their house shows.
To keep in with the gambling theme.
Yeah, but it's kind of all right. I actually don't mind the name of it, to be honest. It actually makes sense in some ways, but still. Now, get this. Obviously, ticket sales were pretty awful in Brisbane, right? So, you know what they did?
Obviously, of course, we've talked about it.
Right. Well, you know what they ended up doing? I can't believe they did this. They gave out free tickets. It was for free. If you went onto tickettech.com, where you buy your tickets for whatever event or Ticketmaster, but it was for Tickettech in this case, there was a 2-hour window where they were just giving out free tickets to the show, and everybody was getting them. And I find that kind of interesting. I mean, it is only a house show. You know, what would you be so concerned about, like, filling up the place? It's not like it's going to be on television.
Well, you're always concerned. Well, you don't run those shows just for the guys to take bumps in an empty warehouse, bro.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You need a crowd. That's the whole point. I think everybody's sort of forgotten, because you hear all this talk all the time. I mean, if you're paying attention to the sheets or, you know, WrestleNomics or anything, you hear about the ratings, the demos. People are talking about, oh, the creative sucks. It's just like everybody forgets this is a live event business.
Right.
It's a live event business. It is designed for people to buy tickets to go into a building and experience it in person. And I think people really lose sight of that, because without that, if you want to know what that looks like, have you already forgotten? And I'm not talking about you, Jimmy. I'm just putting it in the rhetorical universe out there. Has everyone forgotten 5 years ago when we had Thunderdome? That's what you want? Because that's what it looks like when you try to do this with no people. You know, and you could have done anything during that time. And that's what really exposed everybody as frauds. More so the WWE than anybody, because they're the ones with the whole Vince McMahon bullshit, we make movies, pal, you know, attitude. It's like, no, you didn't make movies. You just put on matches in empty buildings. That was your moment. You could have had TV. You could have scripted out scenes and dialogue. You could have made all the movies and TV shows that you want, instead of having matches in a fucking empty building. Like a bunch of idiots and marks, you know?
True, man.
That's what we're always talking. It's a TV show. Well, the TV show was matches in an empty building. So that's what that looks like if you don't try to get the people inside. So, of course, they want to sell tickets in Brisbane to get people to come to the show. And even if you give it away, at least you got some people there, and maybe they'll buy some merch because they didn't have to pay for tickets, or maybe they'll buy some concessions because they didn't have to pay for tickets. How did that look like on the website? If you go, do you just put the tickets in your cart and it just says $0 and then you just check out? Or do they still tax you and give you like a convenience fee? Or like, how did that end up working?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I missed it. I would have just got it for a laugh if I knew, but I missed it because I was sleeping after doing 2 shows earlier. So I wish I did see it, because then I would have actually printed out the ticket myself and, you know, just showed everyone. But unfortunately, I missed it. But on the website, one of the dirt sheets was posting, and they had the link to Tickettech to get the tickets. When I clicked on it, by that point, it says tickets aren't on sale anymore. And I was during the show. So, like, towards the end of the show. So that makes sense. But it's true, though. It did happen. And I just find it, like, real weird. Not weird. You're right in what you said. But, like, again, do they have a marketing team, Vet?
Who knows? It's probably somebody's wife.
Well, it probably is. And that's the sad part, man. It probably is, but it is what it is with this company. They just continuously make rookie mistakes, man. And I know they're only a 6-year-old going on to 7 years now, I believe, old company. But come on, man. I mean, you learn by some mistakes at this point, right? Like them going to Wembley continuously, for me, is worse for All In every time. Why? You're just going to get less and less and less. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
It's true. But it's not, like you said, it's not necessarily an AEW problem. It's a worldwide economy. It's a wrestling economy. It's a human nature. It's all those problems, because even at the height of Hulkamania, right? So like in the mid to late 80s, the WWF would go on tour, and obviously they would do good business for their house shows. And of course you've heard about like the A shows and the B shows, right? Where Hogan's on the A show, so everybody wanted to be on that show and the things like that, right? So they would have probably hit up the markets about twice in a given calendar year. So, but the thing is, when the A show would do the second loop, it would still be good, but it wouldn't be as good as the first loop. Why? Because they seen it, bro. You've seen it. If you went and you paid your ticket, you saw Hulk Hogan do the thing and rip the shirt and pose and drop a leg, and you saw everything you needed to see. You don't need to see it again. Facts. Of course, some people will see it every time. Some people it's once. Some people it's if I feel like it. So you get a different thing. But like once you've seen it, for some people, that's enough. And you don't need to go back. So the more you run these cities, the less returns that you're going to get, because the people are going to feel like, well, I just saw you guys. No matter how much they enjoyed it. Maybe they really do want to go a second time or a third time, but they just can't afford it, or they can't justify paying it when they've got other bills, or maybe some other stuff come up. My car broke down because I went to the last show. Like they broke into, I went to the Oakland show and Powerhouse Hobbs's car got broken into and mine got put on blocks, like maybe that. So, it's just a thing of like, some people are satisfied and they don't need. They've already run Australia before. And like you keep saying, hey, why don't you come to Melbourne? And they're like, no. So
it's weird, dude.
Obviously the first time, if they ever go down there, it'll probably do good. And then when they come back, it won't do as good, like you're saying. And I think that's true of everybody. Like the WWE's running hot, but not as hot. Not quite as hot as last year. They're not quite selling out. There's still some tickets available. Part of that is because of the price gouging, but another part of it is we saw it already. I yeeted 6 months ago. I don't need to yeet. I'm tired. No more. No, but you're right, man. That it's all of that, and everything else you said. What's the marketing team like, or whatever, so it's, but this is just one of those things where you try stuff, you can afford to fail if you're a billionaire, son. So next time, if you run it again, maybe you'll learn some lessons. Maybe you'll go to a different part of the country, or maybe you'll do better marketing in the area that you were. But I mean, you're the one that can be the guy on the ground to let everybody else in the world know how much of AEW's, advertising you saw for these shows locally, or if at all.
Right. And there really wasn't as much. All I know is from online. I never saw anything outside, and I can get that. Why would they advertise over here? Even though Sydney is the next major city from here, which is an 8-hour drive roughly. It's the same amount of time to take you to go to LA. It will take me to go to Sydney from here. So, but what confuses me, and I've always said, and I'm not saying this because I'm from Melbourne, it's a fact. Just look it up yourself. Melbourne is the wrestling capital of Australia. Always has been. The fact that AEW still hasn't, almost feels like, do they have like a problem? You know what I mean? Is there an issue? Or maybe they're going to set up for the next round. Because the thing is, like you said, they've come in quick succession, dude. It wasn't even a year since they were here last. You know what I'm saying? And they're already here back again. So I feel like they will end up doing another show by the end of the year because I feel like Tony's stubborn, dude. Like no matter, like even for Grand Slam, okay, that's a 23.
Which just
Right.
sorry, but just to let everybody remind everybody who may have forgotten, Grand Slam used to be Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York till it got less and less and less, and then they were like, "Well, how about Australia?"
Yeah, but you know what's even more retarded? And I said it. I said retarded because it is retarded. Where's the major Grand Slam in Australia? It's in fucking Melbourne. The Australian Open is in Melbourne, not Sydney, not Brisbane, and yet they call it Grand Slam. It's an insult. How about, Tony, you come to Rod Laver Arena where the tennis is held and actually do a real Grand Slam Australia in the city where the Grand Slam actually is from, just like Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York, right?
Right.
Which is the home of the US Open. It's the same deal with the Australian Open, which is home in Melbourne. So again, it's so weird and dumb that you'd call it Grand Slam when it's not even in the city where the Grand Slam is held. Not once.
Yeah. Oh, he must have switched the meaning from tennis to like Denny's breakfast or something.
Yeah, because what does it mean otherwise? Like, really? What the fuck does Grand Slam mean?
Well, obviously also American baseball is a huge sport in Australia too, so maybe it's that.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's a bases loaded
huge.
home run he's referring to now.
It's huge, as a matter of fact. I know he's a weird dude, man. I don't get it.
The artist said something just now, or WWE blocked it, but that's what I was thinking of that actually before he said it. But then I was thinking like, well, the WWE isn't running Melbourne either.
But that I get because of Perth paying all the money that they're paying. So
right.
That makes sense.
But the point is, they're not blocking it then because they don't even run it.
But they did give us a little bit of a crumb where they did a house show here after the pay-per-view. So they, on the way out, because you get a direct flight from Melbourne to LA, I assume they would. That just makes sense. That's where they'll go. They did do a house show on the way back to the US the next night after Crown Jewel. So they finished the crown. They knew they had to do a show here because it's been too long. They've totally neglected Sydney though. Completely.
But what I'm saying is, do you attribute that to having anything politically to do with why AEW is not running that area?
I don't think so. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, could WWE have blocked them? Possibly even. I mean, I don't know because
it's not. If it's not a territory they want to run, then why do it?
Well, think about it. WWE doesn't really run much in Brisbane or Sydney compared to Melbourne and now Perth. That you could be onto something. I didn't think of that. So yeah, maybe. I mean, it's a possibility because, like I said, they did do a house show right after Crown Jewel in Melbourne, and then flew back to the US. So I mean, that's a possibility. They haven't ran Sydney or Brisbane in years, dude. So yeah, that's interesting. That's a real interesting take.
But maybe I mean, you can't. The point is though, ultimately, the point is WWE can't block anything. If that city wants to, if the city of Melbourne or Sydney or anybody else wants to bring in an event that they think is going to be profitable, they're not going to. If WWE can't tell them anything, they can't say, well, don't let AEW run here, or we won't give you a random house show, because that's not going to be enough of a threat. So. They have no leverage in that situation. But I think the real reason is, I think it says a lot more that they're just like, we don't even care to bring AEW here. So whether that's a failure on Tony and AEW's side, or whether that's, some sort of logistical issue or, municipal whatever issue.
Well,
I don't know.
Did you notice the ring? I don't think they'll even use a proper AEW ring. It was bigger though, for once, compared to last year. But going by the ring posts, that was different to your usual AEW ring. So I'm assuming that they just took an independent company from Sydney's ring and used that, and they brought their canvas down and their ropes and turnbuckles. That's about it.
That's kind of lame, isn't it?
It is lame because WWE, at least, they have warehouses here where they store rings And hell, they even friggin' brought the Elimination Chamber all the way from the US and it nearly got overtaken by friggin' pirates on the way here. No shit, that's a true story. Can you believe that? Yeah. Pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, if they can go through all that trouble, what's wrong with AEW, man? Bring your fucking ring down, Tony. Stop being lazy. God damn it. Because it doesn't look good when you do that. It's just like Buddy Murphy. He got injured last year just doing a little hop off the turnbuckle and then friggin' destroyed his ankle from it. You know what I mean? Because of that stupid ring. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, AEW, they're just a weird company. How about you hold off from coming to Australia a little bit then? Like, take at least 2 years. Don't come so quick if you expect like a lot more people. Because even in Sydney, dude, 23,000 arena, okay? They sold 7,000. 7,000 out of 23,000, man. I mean, to me, that's not a good look. That's just me, though.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not. You want, obviously, you want to do better than that, but
yeah.
Again,
well,
it's just you can give a horse free tickets, but you can't make him drink or something.
Well, that's true. Well, in other news, and this is probably even laughable, we've gone from dumb to dumber, it seems, because did you see the Wrestling Observer end of year awards that they just released a couple of days ago?
Yeah, but I heard this list of awards like weeks ago. So why is everybody only talking about it like in February now?
I have no idea. I only noticed it in February too.
Pretty sure this list came out in January in the Observer. So I don't, because I remember hearing I was probably listening to Cornette on his show and Brian was reading out the winners, like, but this was weeks ago. So everybody's a little bit late.
That's weird. Well, do you know who is the wrestler of the year, actually, Vent?
Oh, yeah. Obvious. There's only one choice. It's Mystico.
What the fuck, bro?
What are you talking about? The greatest wrestler of 2025. It's clearly him. Don't you remember? He had a match with MJF.
Bro, come on. Come on, man. Who are these people voting for this shit? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, really?
They're Observer readers. But I don't, this is what I don't get. And I'm not saying I know the answer. I'm asking. Like, how many people are really, like, even if you're a diehard Observer reader, and even if you enjoy Lucha Libre, and even if, you know, you take the word of, you know, Dave, and to a lesser extent, Brian as a gospel, are you really watching that much CMLL? Because it's not like it's not like it's just plastered everywhere that's easy to watch. And also
everywhere,
they don't all they do is run straight matches. CMLL does not have what you would call a television show. They have whatever programming you watch, you're going to see a set of matches from whatever shows they run. And it's going to be a lot of like multi-man stuff like they always do. So, you know, I don't care how much people claim to be wrestling fans. I do not see people sitting and just straight watching those. So they're probably just watching clips and stuff and are just like, oh yeah. I don't care. You gotta really, and I'm a guy that, mind you, when New Japan was running Fantasticamania, I would watch Fantasticamania.
Fuck yeah, man. So was
and
I.
all it is a fucking house show with a bunch of luchadors on it. And that's what CMLL does. They don't do like AAA does. They try to do like angles and stuff,
right?
You know, but yeah, I would love to meet the white bread American wrestling fan that sits and watches CMLL nonstop, that they're going to be voting for these people.
dude, it gets even better because
Or promotion of the year, like as promotion
oh,
of the year, like so you watch more CMLL than anything else, or did you
but
just
wait,
vote that because you were? And also, worst promotion WWE. Did nobody watch TNA?
I mean,
What place did they come in the voting?
oh,
If you honestly think WWE is worse than TNA, not only are you not watching WWE or TNA, you damn sure ain't watching CMLL. You're full of shit.
full of shit. And I mean, some of these are full of shit. You know, you mentioned like promotion of the year, right? But the booker of the year was Tony Khan. So how can we have promotion of the year being CMLL, yet the booker of the year was Tony Khan?
I don't know.
Like, it just doesn't make sense, dude. Like, for real. Promoter of the year, though, right? Well, see, this is weird too. Well, Salvador Luti, I can't even pronounce this.
Whoever it is that's CMLL, obviously.
Salvador Luterov. That's who the promoter of the year is, yet Tony Khan wins Booker of the Year.
I don't know one feud that happened in CMLL. And keep in mind, I'm me.
I know.
So like I feel like I would have at least heard of what the hot feud was. But the only time I heard about CMLL was when they were wrestling on AEW. And mind you, Tony did a horrible job with all of those people trying to make them stars. 100%. Like to present them as like major players, that was extremely badly done. Like everybody just did jobs and whatever. And Misako's the only guy that got anything as far as like, you know, like a major match or a major high profile thing with MJF and stuff. And right. I'm not going to say that wasn't enjoyable, but I'm just saying like that was a crossover thing. I didn't hear whatever. And even Excalibur with all his yelling through his mask didn't do a good job of telling me about what was actually going on in the promotion around that time. You know, CMLL was treated as like filler enhancement talent on AEW television, you know, because we covered the whole thing all year last year.
It's true. Absolutely. I mean, it's just bizarre. I mean, even this, for example, tag team of the year, the Young Bucks, like really? Then again, the tag team division all across the board has pretty much sucked balls, to be fair, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, shit.
That's just like a pick whichever one you want. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, feud of the year was Moxley and Hangman.
Wasn't even really a feud.
It's feud of the year, though, dude. Don't knock it. I mean, come on. I'm not even gonna bother with this whole list. The point is, there's a lot here that just sucks. But apparently, I'll say one more. The worst feud of the year was Anthony Bowens versus Max Caster.
No way that was the worst.
I know. I agree. Again, I agree. It's bizarre.
It couldn't have been the worst. It would have been okay if anybody watched it. But a lot of the stuff took place on Collision in between, like if you want to call it a feud, a lot of it took place on Collision in between other matches, you know. So it wasn't like they would have like a short vignette and then that was it. And then, you know, who would have remembered that?
Yeah, exactly. But what gets me is this is the best award I've seen by far. I gotta just say it because it's just most disgusting promotional tactic of the year. Guess what that was?
I know what it was.
What was it? You remember it? Shit, all right. What is it?
WWE bringing back Brock Lesnar.
Since when was that even a category? Is that new? Because I don't recall that at all. But the fact that that was the most disgusting, most disturbing thing in pro wrestling, it cacked me, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. What else? Who knows? I don't know. I mean, most of this, like, see, okay, but all kidding aside, when I look at this list, I immediately just say, you know, I just shrug. I don't care. Like, what? Look at who's doing it. Look at who's voting on it. Look at who's, you know, like, it's just, it doesn't bother me. This is what these guys want to do. It's the same thing as like, you know, if some kid wants to shoot hoops in his friggin' driveway off a, you know, that he hung off a backboard, he hung off his garage or something, I'm not going to go criticize him because he's not an NBA player. I don't care. Whatever you want to do on your own time is fine, you know.
Absolutely, nothing wrong with that.
But that's the thing. Like, this happened weeks ago. Like I said, these results came out weeks ago, and for some reason now people are deciding they want to talk about it, and they're the ones deciding they want to talk about it. And I didn't bring this up one time in the weeks when it was published and when people start talking about it, but now we're talking about it, so I'm commenting on it. But in reality, I don't give a shit what you vote. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you vote.
Anyway, right?
You know, so
it means nothing. Well, it does mean something to AEW wrestlers and the company itself, obviously, because they love parading. But what about what Jay Toss says? What about Marty the pedo and Hangman taking a selfie? See, is it fair to call Marty Squirrel, the villain, a pedo per se when it was legal in this country to do what he did? I know it's fucked up. I wouldn't do it.
Right.
But has he got an unfair slack in your opinion at this point? Because he's pretty much being blackballed from pretty much all the main companies in the US.
Yeah, I mean, strictly by the letter of the law, he didn't do anything wrong, I guess. Unless there was other stuff that was involved that we didn't hear about. Maybe that's why. But, I mean, it's no big loss. He's just another guy. He doesn't bring anything to the table that we absolutely can't live without. So, you know, but no,
I was a fan of his.
Yeah, it's not really, no, it's not really fair. There's people who have done way worse, convicted of worse. You know, like people have been convicted of things and brought back. He didn't break any laws,
yeah, I mean,
so
right. That's why it's a bit weird. Anyway, look, I don't even want to get into that too much, but the point is, he didn't even technically do anything wrong. Like you said, and this is something else that we're not aware of. I don't know, but he's pretty much kissed his career goodbye. So, but anyway, in WWE news though, Jazz announced his return to WWE for new coaching role at WWE Performance Center. Good on her, man. I'm actually happy for her. That's good. Yeah, welcome back, Jazz. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
But in saying that,
I was just gonna say, hopefully she gets a, you know, get a nice salary. You know,
I'm sure she would. But you want to be honest with you though, Vet, about this in some ways. I hate to be a prick because I'm playing devil's advocate here. It doesn't mean that this is how I feel. I'm just putting it out there, right? Are they getting the right people for these positions? Even as, like, when you think about it, right? All the agents are TNA guys, right? And some of them you could argue were a bit, you know, a bit sloppy in the ring even. I mean, Abyss was crazy in the ring. I was a fan of Abyss, for example, Chris Parks. But is he the right person for that job? Is Jazz the right person to train women, say, even? Like, do you think they could get better basically for these roles, in your opinion?
Let me just answer it like this. First of all, there's a difference between somebody that's a producer and somebody that's a trainer.
Absolutely. For sure.
You know, obviously Jazz is not going up there to agent matches. She's she's PC not. Coach. So anybody that comes through the PC as a trainer, whether they're a guest trainer or whether they're a full-time trainer or whatever, it gives, you know, people accuse the WWE developmental system as just churning out cookie cutter factory clones.
Right.
But that is not because they don't have a diverse group of trainers. I mean, we're talking about guys like Norman Smiley.
Right.
We're talking about guys like Robbie Brookside. You know, we're talking about guys like Matt Bloom. We're talking about, you know, and now Jazz. And so those are kind of different people. You know, you wouldn't really confuse any of their styles with the other one.
Absolutely not.
So every little thing you could learn, for the people that have a good aptitude for wrestling, even if they didn't grow up a fan, but somehow they have an aptitude. Or some people have grown up wrestling fans their whole lives and they just can't get it. You know, you never know who's going to be, who this stuff is going to click with, but having multiple coaches, that's why like in NFL, team doesn't just have one head coach and then he has to tell everybody everything. You got quarterback coaches, line coaches, defensive back coaches, you have all these different coaches, special teams. You have all these different things because the skills are different. So having anybody that you bring in is going to hopefully, I would think, bring something to the table. But don't confuse that with what we're seeing on television, because, once you get up there, that's a different group of people telling you something else. And none of them were PC coaches. They didn't have Abyss coaching at the PC. They didn't have Petey Williams coaching at the PC. They damn sure didn't have Jason Jordan coaching at the PC, because he never should have gotten out of the PC.
Right.
He didn't learn enough. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's two different situations there that you're talking about.
Well, I was just putting it out there because of the, discrepancy of the names that they have at one place and the other. And does it affect what we see on television today? I mean, because look, I don't know. I guess if you couldn't get a Ric Flair to friggin' help out, he'd be like, fuck that, especially these days.
Right. There's people that that's part of your other question was like, are they getting the people? But it's like,
right, that's what I mean.
Can you get them? Or there's people that want to do that. Some people don't want to do it, and some people aren't good teachers.
I can see Flair being a bad one, to be honest. He'd be a bad teacher, in my opinion. You just see it. But yeah, no, you're right. It's true. And like I said, it's not that that's what I think. I'm just putting it out there because there's been a lot of discussion about that I've seen online. And I thought, you know what? I'll ask the question. Are they doing the right thing in terms of who they're getting? Let's see. Is any other news around here? There's an update on Mercedes Moné and her absence. It goes on to say here that
related injury.
Yeah, it could be. So this is what she had to say. So she said, and I quote, "So I've been really trying to enjoy this time off by really healing my body and taking care of myself because I want to come back to the ring better than ever. I'm going to be very busy in March because I still have a lot of championships to defend. And yes, I defend my titles, bitches. But I've been really taking this time to feel good, and I really want to feel good inside and outside. And if you saw a couple of my videos at the House of Sun, oh my God, my back, my neck feels so amazing. I've never felt my spine just feel so straight. Now I'm here in Cancun, Mexico for stem cell treatment, and I came down to Rejuve Stem because a lot of my coworkers come here and told me about the results. So I'm super excited for feeling my best version of myself. That still does not give us an update on when she's coming back."
Who said they give her an update?
That's what the headline said.
But whose headline is it?
It is. Let's see. It just says here that Moné provided an update on Thursday on Instagram from her. Yeah, and I'm just reading from a dirt sheet.
Well, that's a headline.
Yeah, stupid. So who cares? And when she's coming back, who knows? But I'm sure it'll be sometime this year. But stem cell treatment with women, that's sort of new to me. Do women actually go and get stem cell treatment?
Why not?
Yeah, true. I just never hear about it compared to the men. You always hear about MMA fighters doing it and whatnot, but I've never heard a woman do it until now. So that's kind of pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, and Don, we've already spoken about that. The Iconics signing officially for AEW. They're all elite now, actually, Event.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, well, do you think it's going to be good for them? Good for AEW? I mean,
hey, it could have been good if they signed before they had a show in Australia.
Yeah, and I said, dumb. And why they announce them at friggin' House Rules? And if you see the end of House Rules, apparently, from what I read, it's a joke, dude. They're all dancing in the ring, bro, including Fletcher, Megan Bain. Like, all of them are just dancing like idiots, bro.
Yeah. It's house show.
I guess it is the shenanigans of a
that's
house
when
show.
that's when you do that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, the fans are going to film it these days, but it's, it's fine.
Mrs. Martos.
I had to do it. Oh, well, no, but yeah, you're right. They probably will. They're so giddy for each other, bro. It's weird. Beast.
They're only going to take a picture if it's happy. They're not going to take a picture when it's going bad.
Oh, it's gonna be when it goes bad. That's gonna go bad. I'm telling you, he's gonna be like this hyena and blah blah blah. He's gonna start going with bananas. But anyway, definitely a better paycheck for sure. I just feel like AEW's got too many of these type of women, though, dude. And now they're signing
They
another
have
two,
one Harley Cameron and
right? And now
one
with
Tony
the,
Storm.
I'm not talking about Aussies now, because
Well,
you named all Australians
but
now,
I'm thinking of the people that are silly though.
right? Well, yeah, they're all Aussies, and you wonder why I give them shit. I'm just saying.
You know, I'm starting to see what's just, you know,
You
you know,
see
I
it?
never,
Can you see
you
it
know, I
now?
never once said I didn't agree with you, Jimmy. I always just pointed out that you hate them all. I never said you were wrong to hate them all.
You can see it now, but that's what that matters. But it's true, man. It's weird. But the Artist Return says no, but no real depth of tag teams. So I'll take a flyer on them. I mean, yeah, why not?
By the way, take a flyer means that you're gonna pass generally.
Oh, okay. I thought, well, I thought that was
Yeah,
the
when
opposite,
you say take
but-
a flyer, that means like, yeah, just get out of my face. Pretty sure. But anyways,
yeah, okay, all right. Yeah,
it doesn't
fuck 'em.
matter. They didn't, you know, they don't have a great depth of tag teams, and even the tag teams that they have are just put together, and you could put a name on them if you want. But let's face it, you know, Harley and Willow are not a tag team.
Well, that's
Just
true.
Two singles. They're just two singles people. You know, Mega Bad is not a tag team. There were two singles
Bad name.
people. You know,
Right.
So
Anyway, what's this? So get this, Vet, before we move on and start sifting. Tommaso Ciampa comments on financial stability being reason for him choosing AEW over staying with WWE. That's quite interesting. On a recent episode of AEW Up Close with Renee Paquette, the show featured Tommaso Ciampa as the guest, and one of the topics discussed included Ciampa's thoughts about his reasons for his decision, to join AEW after leaving WWE. He goes on to say, every performer, specifically people who've come up through the independent scene, you love the business. And the thing you really genuinely want is for it to love you back. And like I've been told numerous times, this isn't the business. The business doesn't love you back, but I'm an optimist, you know, so I think it's not going to love you back 100% of the time. But those moments when it does, it's like we thrive for that, you know? So that's what I feel like. So a lot of that is going on right now for me, where it's like, oh man, I haven't felt loved back for a bit. So that was big. But at home, you know, honestly, it was less about just like looking forward to, oh, we're doing this AEW thing, because there's a ton of uncertainty, like our decision to move on. We talked about that for months. I might even say a couple of years, realistically. That's a big thing, right? And he also says regularly checking his bank account and understanding his financial stability. Ciampa also gave his thoughts on about being financially stable in his life and wrestling career led him to taking the risk and joining AEW. See what that headline did?
yeah, they made it sound like it meant something else.
Motherfucker, I'm not even going to read anymore in that shit. That's it. Because I hate being fucking baited like that. That is a bullshit headline. Don't do that again, motherfuckers. So, yeah. So, basically, he was already stable and could take the risk joining AEW, you fucking cunt.
Right. Not like,
Straight up.
but it's not a risk anyway, because it's not like AEW's paying peanuts.
Well, yeah.
Unless they all of a sudden started lowballing everybody that comes in.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure they would have gave him a better contract than he had. You know?
Yeah, possibly.
So it's like,
sure.
Is it a risk? But if he's and even if he's talking about having to spend all his money on medical bills if he fucks up his neck again, it's still he can afford it. and also just so he knows, you actually don't have to pay your medical bills. There's nothing they can do about it.
That's true.
So basically, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. He's just yammering about a bunch of stuff. This is why I don't really care for the guy. Like, we'll talk about loving the business when we get to his match, but to me, it's like when you talk about loving the business, to me, that comes across in how you perform. So when you do things that go against what could be considered business, as in doing time-honored things, doing things that drew money, you know, doing traditional, like, you know, whatever it is as a performer, the stuff that you can control in the ring. If you can do that kind of stuff, you know, show me you love it. So, when it doesn't love you back, there's usually a reason. You know,
True.
not always. So it's not like some people haven't gotten raw deals because of the way the business is, but you could also argue that he got a lot more than a lot of other more talented, more interesting, more marketable people just because he had fans in the office for so long.
Weird enough,
Could be a
yeah.
reason why he even got up there. But you look at it like, how bad is this? If you really want to look at it, how bad is it that you're like a favored guy? Like you're like a Triple H guy. You're a Shawn Michaels guy. You and Johnny, you go up there, and even once you've gone up to SmackDown, they still have no choice but to realize, God, these guys just ain't it.
It's true, but
like even when you're the favored guy, they're like, I can't cover for you anymore, bro. When your contract is up, you know, you got to go because nobody gives a shit. Go. Yeah,
well, I mean,
you know that Triple H wouldn't like release those guys if it was anything to do with him, you know. But at the end of the day, they're not bringing in what they're taking home, so that just makes sense. It doesn't matter whether you like them or not. You know, I can say I've never been a fan of DIY, not at any point in time ever. There's not any nice things I can say about them. The funniest, the best, the nicest thing I can say about Johnny Gargano is that in that sound bite where Andre Chase is like, "Does somebody say Andre Chase?" Johnny Gargano's the guy that's like, "No, no one said that." That's funny, but other than that, useless.
You know? I've never been the biggest fan of both. I mean, I didn't mind Ciampa in Ring of Honor, for example, but I got sick of him real fast when he came up to WWE. And DIY and Gargano, my God, Gargano especially, get the fuck away from me completely. And his wife, I can't stand either one of them, man.
The Kroger cashier.
Ugh. Please.
Kroger's is a grocery store chain up here, Jimmy. I don't know if you know that, but
no, I don't know what it is.
That's what I used to call Candace Michelle. She's like a Kroger cashier because she's the kind of girl that would be good looking if you lived in some small Midwestern town or whatever with a grocery store. If you see her work in a grocery store, you'd be like, "Hey, cute." National television? No,
absolutely not.
Sorry,
no. It's true.
And Johnny Gargano has the cold black eyes of a shark. You know, there's just nothing there.
Yeah, weird, man. It's true. Plus, not to sound like a racist, but they've got typical Italian heads, both of them, dudes. Like, if you know what I mean, the stereotypical Italian heads. I know a lot of those types, man.
There's no need to go there. I don't know.
That's all right. I love Italians. It's all good. I'm with one for crying out loud.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is, you know, Ciampa's already he's doing great. So the joke's on me, but I'm just, you know, I am just pointing that fact out of like, it's just funny that the choice of words he used, the business doesn't love you back, when you were under the click shield for how many years, getting a paycheck and not drawing anything. I think the business kind of loved you more than you deserved for whatever reason. Not to say you didn't work hard, not to say you didn't do your best, just to say your best wasn't good enough for the paying public.
Yeah, no, it's true, man. It is what it is. But, you know, we'll get to it anyway, because we're going to start sifting right now. I just find it funny with Ciampa's little run that he had, literally little run, because I wonder how those negotiations went when he signed. We're going to make you champion and blah, 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 this and that. And then he loses it a week later, and then I can see Tony saying, "Well, I never said how long you're going to hold the championship for. I just said that we're going to make you champion. I didn't say how long you were going to be champion." So what was the whole point of that run, man? I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, apparently I had a moment. Did I say Candace Michelle? I didn't mean to say that. I had a Freudian slip. Notice?
Well, they're both Candaces, all right. One was a lot better though.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Go ahead, clip that. Send it into castrating the wreckage. Crazy old man video.
Castrating the wreckage. I like it. I like it a lot. Hey, you're speaking of castrating. You were on the Raw SmackDown review show with Ben over at the brand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I made
how's that?
my Vince Russo brand debut.
Oh, that's that. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Like I was very happy to hear that. I'm like, oh, what? He was? I'm gonna check it out.
It was a fun time.
It was? Oh, cool,
Yeah,
man.
Jeff invited me in, and I said sure, and had no problem. Had a good time. Hopefully, do that a little bit more. If you guys liked it too, just don't be shy about letting everybody know over at the brand that you enjoy it, and you like to see me on other things. Make your voices heard.
Absolutely. Hashtag that. 100%. Well, speaking of hashtags, let's put some gloves on instead, because now it's time we sift through the dynamites and the grand slams of AEW, shall we?
Damn it. I was having fun not doing that.
I know.
I guess we gotta do it.
Yeah, we gotta do it. Unlike someone who's having fun on the West Coast just quietly. He'll be back next week, as a matter of fact. I'm talking about the professor. God damn it. These photos that he's posting, he looks like he's having a lot of fun. All
right. Well, we'll do the opposite of that. Well, no, we'll try to have fun. we'll try to make this fun as best we can. That's why I'm the best in the world. It's my job to make sure everybody has a good time. Yeah. And Tony Schiavone's job is to bring out Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland in the ring for a face-to-face. We got to have this face-to-face. All right, look. I'm not going to lie to you. I never have. So I don't know why I said that. But I guess I'm prefacing because it's something you may not expect to hear from me. But actually the first part of this, I thought, was a good promo from each guy that actually made sense out of this bullshit that we've been watching.
True.
Like each guy, when they had a turn, they kind of told a story. So it did two things. Like not only did it catch people up who maybe, maybe they're tuning in, new fans or lapsed or whatever, you come in, you're seeing this. Not only did it catch them up on what's been going on, but for people like us who've been watching the whole time, if you say it and cut out all the extra weeks and months in between of stuff and you just basically lay out what happened, it almost made kind of sense. Like it made, they tried to make sense out of everything that's been happening. So they cut it down and told a story, each one of them in their own way. First Swerve, then Kenny rebuttal. And it was like, okay, I'm with it.
I agree.
But then toward the end, they started to lose it again because they talked too much. And then, of course, they just had to turn into a fight. And they fought. And they were fighting through the people. And, so it was like a Death Riders match. They just went through fighting through the crowd and some bullshit. And they ended up on a stage. And then Kenny tried to one-wing him through some tables. But
it escalated bad.
This Swerve speared him and they fell through the tables.
I mean, I didn't know they hated each other this much. Really?
Hey man, it all just came. It's been coming to a head for a long time.
At least Kenny wasn't doing his Swerve sort of promo,
right.
He was actually very normal, which is
he actually didn't have like a soft voice in the first part. Like he sounded like a normal person. So
that's true. It's true. I was actually thinking that, and I'm thinking, I wonder if you were gonna like it, right? Because I was thinking, you know what, this Kenny promo is unlike his normal promos that he usually does, which is a good thing because it shows me, at least, that I think he knows how to cut a normal promo. He just doesn't generally do it, but here he is doing it. So yeah, kudos to Kenny.
Yeah. So like I said, it could have been good if we just ended it with a all right then, okay, fine, all right, fine, and then just leave.
Right.
But of course you got to go through tables and shit, like
Well,
Like everybody else does. That's the thing. Like if nobody else did it, and then these guys got into a brawl and went through tables or whatever, it's like, okay, well, all right. But I see this all the time, so it's not particularly different.
it's true. Well, like Cold Blooded says, the most dangerous thing about Omega is his digestive system. Jeez, man.
Well, he is cold-blooded.
He is. That is cold. God damn cold blooded. I mean, but he's not wrong.
Yeah. So next is Renee with Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher. And Kyle's like, Don, you don't have to manage me tonight. You can just chill at the desk. And he's like, I can just put my feet up and do commentary. He's like, yep. So, okay, there we go. Now we're starting out with some nothing like a brawl and going through tables to set up a nice 6-man.
Of course.
But here come the Death Riders, the kings of brawling and going through tables. Moxley, Pac, and Claudio versus the Don Callis family of Takeshita, Josh, and Mark Davis.
What a
team. I'm not okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you again. I really wasn't paying attention to this match.
I thought you were gonna say you
But
liked it.
I
was like,
did
what?
I did notice that it was 15 fucking minutes.
Mhm.
And I can almost guarantee that unlike certain people, I don't actually need to watch this match to know exactly what happened.
It's true. And you know what? Remember the power of the phone?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what happened to me during this match? The power of the portal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the PlayStation portal. That's
Right.
what was happening because the match went way too long. For real. But it wasn't just this. It was actually quite a few that actually was doing that too, you know? So I don't know, man. It is what it is. There's a few matches that just went way too long in my opinion, but that's just me.
No, it's not just you. So Moxley beats Josh with the his Death Rider DDT thing. All right. Now we have, as we were promised, Kyle Fletcher versus Tommaso Ciampa for the TNT title because, open challenge.
hold
And
off.
he came out on Saturday and said, I want it. So here we go.
They couldn't hold off though for Australia at least to do this match in a way.
I was going to say, I was going to get through the match first and then kind of talk about
Okay.
that. But yeah. So what we saw a couple of things on this show that I'm like, will we make more sense? Like if you're saving that up for a Grand Slam, or what are you going to give the people at Grand Slam? If you're giving them this now, what are you giving them when they show up for Grand Slam? Which
It's
apparently
true.
they didn't. So that's maybe why. Like, would you not have said, oh, what if I challenge you for the title at Grand Slam?
Right.
Seems
It
like the
makes sense.
obvious thing. Is it just so obvious that that's why they didn't want to do it, so as to not be obvious?
You know what, Vet? It wouldn't surprise me with Tony's little pea brain sometimes. I have no idea, bro, because I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, here we go. So we get this match now, and you can see the discrepancy just when they're standing there of Kyle Fletcher and Tommaso Ciampa. Couple of bald white guys, but only one of them has a beard. And one's Australian, I guess. That's
Yeah, well,
so
that's
he's not a cheese sandwich, he's a Vegemite sandwich, but
and that's pretty bad,
yeah,
just quietly.
people are just going to keep trying to convince me he's a star, but anyway,
He's a
but you could
proto-star,
see the
Vet.
difference. You could see the difference between a 6'3" guy and a 5'9"
definitely.
guy.
Absolutely.
Well, do you think Ciampa saw that difference? Because he worked this
Absolutely
match like
not.
they were exactly the same size.
Absolutely not, Vet. He did not see any discrepancy in size, weight, height, nothing. All he sees is himself, basically. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, you're right. I hate that, man. I really
Like
don't like that shit.
He's grabbing Kyle by the back of the neck, and he's He's taking him from one side of the barricade on the floor. He's just running across the floor, holding a 6'3" guy by the back of his neck and just running with him. Like, try moving somebody with just one hand by the back of their neck if they don't want to go. See if they go with you. Just try it. Just go out in public and try it. Next time you're at the store, just try it. Yeah, see how far you can get him. But anyway, yeah, he runs from coast to coast, one barricade, runs him all the way and throws him into the barricade like he's a friggin' hacky sack. then he picks him up and runs him back across the other way. Wham! Just throws him in there. Cute little guy. And then,
oh man,
but he loves the business, Jimmy. So then he goes for one of his many stupid running knees that everybody does now, but he also does.
Everyone.
And Kyle's sitting there by the stairs, set up for this knee, and he moves, and Ciampa hits his knee. Oh damn! I ran into the stairs full speed with my knee. Oh damn! My knee. Then Kyle goes to, whatever he's going to try to do, pile drive him on the stairs now. And he's selling, remember. And then he just picks Kyle up on his shoulders. Remember the knee. Then he walks up the stairs carrying Kyle on his shoulders like a fireman.
Like, no problem with the knee though.
No problem with the knee. Just climbs the stairs. No big deal. And then drops his spine on the edge of the stairs. Not flat on the stairs.
Oh my God.
I'm going to do my air raid crash, but I'm going to make sure you hit the edge.
I can't just say, you know what this is?
Stupid idiot.
That's what that was.
Jimmy, he loves the business.
Loves it, bro. Totally loves it. I mean, shit, this was a train wreck in a way, dude. Like, people were calling this match of the year candidate and blah, blah, blah.
Now, do you think that Ciampa's boy, Jim Cornette, is going to mention any of this shit on his review?
Absolutely not. Nothing. Nada.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. And of course,
he's not.
Of course, we got a kick out of the brain buster.
The standard these days. What's a brain but dude? Brain buster is nothing now, dude.
Well, I guess you can't have your brain busted if you ain't got a fucking brain.
That's a clip right there.
Completely
that's good.
Ineffective on Tommaso Ciampa.
Wow. Oh man, that got me teary. That's fucking funny, bro. And then you know how he does the clap? There's a clap right now for you, Vet. I'm Ciampa and I'm doing it for you. Yeah, and that too. Exactly. Oh boy. Loves the business,
I guess it's
right?
fair.
Yeah.
I guess it's fair because Kyle kicked out of the knee thing, the stairs damaged knee. That's probably why. It's probably his knee was a little bit weaker because he had hit the stairs earlier. So that's how that works, right? Like that's totally how that works.
Around the knee or anything. It was just soft,
Yeah.
It was nothing. His knee was screwed.
Yeah, because you need it's the cartilage that actually provides the concussive force when you ran into somebody's skull.
Right.
So if the cartilage is misaligned, it doesn't give you the same power as, it has nothing to do with your running speed or, physics and nothing like that. It's just the knee cartilage. So if you get that, if your patella's like slightly banged up, you're not going to be able to generate enough to knock a guy out. So that's why he had to pull it down. Also the pad he was wearing. So he had to pull the pad down to go for it again. But that still didn't work. And then Kyle just hits him with another brain buster and beats him. So
done.
Great psychology, wonderful. Everybody's going to be talking about it.
Wonderful psychology.
Match of the year already. We don't even need the rest of the year. Why don't we just have the observer voters put it down now? Like, okay, this category is already spoken for. We don't need to vote on that. It's locked in. We'll just leave that there. Jim Cornette will love it. He'll complain that maybe they should have done this at Grand Slam like we did, but also he's gonna gloss over every stupid thing that Ciampa did in this match because that's his boy.
That's sad. That is sad, dude. Yeah, but yeah, match of the year. Congratulations, guys. That's what I'm saying. 100%. We said it here first.
So Renee comes into the ring and she's like, "What's next?" It's like, motherfucker, I just want a belt. Leave me alone. But he says, "I'm going to take this to Australia and defend this at Grand Slam." And so Mark Briscoe comes out and he's like, "I want a game 7." And he's like, "I'm sick of you. I don't want to see you anymore, but I guess I'll just do it in a ladder match." Like, what?
Yeah, no,
he went from saying I don't want to wrestle you anymore to let's do it in the most dangerous match we could do.
He did correct himself though. If you remember before that, he did say that it's an open challenge per se, right? And then Briscoe comes out and he goes, "I'm sick of you. I don't want to wrestle you, but I did say I was going to take on anyone. So yeah, I accept." You know what I mean? So that's how it went down.
Yeah. Well, we got a special secret guest joining us. We hope you're doing great too, Billy Ray Valentine.
Yeah. Gorilla Underground. What's with the Gorilla Underground there, BRV? Long time no see.
Gorilla sneaking around in the dark.
Hey, dude, follow me on my new Twitter handle on PWC so I can get in contact with you because my previous account I can't access anymore. So hit me up, BRV, man. Good to see you here, bro. New show? No, man. We've been doing this now since Collision started. This is the Wreckage where we talk all things AEW right here on HMG, man. It's at the PWC network, by the way, BRV, just so you know.
Unfortunately, we also have to talk about this next match, which is Daniel Garcia and Clark Connors.
Eef.
You already don't like it. Versus Strong Orange.
Can I ask, man, did Connors remind you? He reminded me of a little version of Chris Jericho for some reason. He gave me Jericho vibes, dude. Is he going to be the new Jericho of AEW now? Is he even signed with AEW? I know he's part of New Japan, but Clark Connors looks like a little friggin' midget. That's like a midget cowboy. Like, seriously.
Yes.
What is he? Who is he? What is he?
Nothing to add.
I mean, come on, man. He's just a little, I don't know, bro. He's annoying. He's annoying for me, big time, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's and J12's comment, I think that's redundant.
What do you mean it's redundant? Where did you say that?
No, I mean I'm saying J12's comment is redundant. Saying gay Hangman Page is like doubling up. You don't need to say it. If you just say Hangman Page, you said it all.
Yeah, you don't even have to say it. I don't know what that
gay Hangman Page would be like a straight Hangman Page.
Well,
see what I mean? So it's redundant. So, anyways, the point is, Roderick Strong is not in the conglomeration. He's made this clear on many occasions, and all of the conglomeration is denying it. But he actually does. He does take off his shirt and put on his little panties and come all the way out here just to then hop down off the apron mid-match and leave Orange Cassidy to his fate, which I've always loved. I always love when the partner gets all dressed and ready and comes out and then just like leaves. It's like, wouldn't you just be like, yeah, I'm not going out there with you? But whatever, it doesn't matter. Many nitpicks we could do. But yeah, so he does that. And just when you think that this is going to be trouble for Orange Cassidy, for our intrepid hero, Orange Cassidy, Darby appears and kidnaps Clark Connors, much the way he was abducted and dragged and left through dragged through the desert and left in the desert. So now he's grabbed Connors and dragged him over the barricade into the depths of wherever. And so that leaves it to be a singles match, and Daniel Garcia gets his ass rolled up.
As it should.
Should.
God damn it. Yeah, have you noticed since? Oh no, continue. Go for it.
Oh, and then Tony Storm comes out, and then Wheeler Yuta and Marina have a kidnapped victim of their own. Again, and they have Mina Shirakawa, and then they take the scissors and they cut a hair extension off of Mina Shirakawa.
Oh, oh my God! Is that a sign of the future? Could it be?
Could
We're
it
gonna
be
have to tune in and
foreshadowing?
find
Could
out
it
later
be?
on.
Yeah.
Oh boy, man!
Well, we'll see. But all right, now what were you going to mention earlier?
I totally forgot now, so it doesn't even matter. It's probably
Oh,
irrelevant. It wasn't a big deal, otherwise I would have said it. So don't worry about it, man. It's all good.
okay. Well, then we got some promos here. We got a Dondrade promo. We got a
Don
Hank
Andrade.
Person
I like
promo.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
why not? It's pretty good.
No,
right?
you're right. Don Andrade. It's true.
Dondrade.
Don Andrade. Where's my mask?
I have an important mask.
Why do I sound Italian saying that? And where's my mask?
And we have a Jet Speed promo. None of them are exceptional.
Oh, I found out something thanks to Whoople Brandon actually on the Insanity show, their new show, which you can check out right here on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel. Apparently, the chick that commentates on JCW, I keep forgetting her name. Someone in the
Beta
chat will
Scott?
tell me. Yes, that's the one. That's her. Not only does she sound like Renee Paquette to me since D pointed that out, and I'm like, oh shit, she actually does. Once you hear it, you'll get it. Believe me. Pay attention the next time you'll see where I'm coming from. But apparently, Speedball is married to her. Is that true?
Yeah.
So they
Everybody
are,
knew
so
that,
they
Jimmy.
are.
We just didn't tell you.
Oh, well, I just found out.
Yeah.
I'm new to the partiki.
Dang, who
Let's
let
see.
it slip? Oh, Brandon. That's
It was-
right. Oh,
it
we'll
was
have a
Brandon, yeah.
talk. We'll have a talk with him.
You better fix him
But,
up tomorrow. But
Yeah,
anyway,
no. Yeah, Veda Scott. She's
Yeah, I
pretty
never
good.
knew.
I would it's kind of like it's kind of a shame. She could probably do commentary on any show.
no, she is good.
Put her,
Same
put
with
her
John
on Raw even. It
Dombrowski,
doesn't
obviously.
matter. She could do it.
I'm telling you, she sounds like Renee Paquette, man. Like, just keep an eye on it. I didn't hear it at first when D said it. I'm just like, shit, I can hear it. I know what you're saying now. And then I can't get it out of my head, man.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I thought I'd
she's
just
been around for a
say that.
minute, and yeah, they're very happy couple.
Oh,
Now here's three happy couples. We got the Young Bucks, the Rascals,
good.
and the mystery team, which we didn't even know was going to be a mystery team until it was a mystery team.
Shots. We're
Oh
getting
my
some
God, is
shots.
that Private Party?
Oh my God, it was that private party. You want to know something funny? This is a true story. Believe it or not, before I watched Dynamite, I actually thought about him and thought, you know
Oh.
what? What's happening to private party? I kid you not, dude. I don't know why it went through my mind, but I'm just like, I just thought about him. And I'm like, where the fuck are they? The last time I checked, WB were interested in them. And actually, there is news now that you bring them up. Right. Their contracts are still set to expire. They haven't re-signed. So there is a chance that they might still go to WWE. So look out for that, according to Mr. John Ross Sapp.
John Ross Sapp. Is that like his brother?
Sure, I mean, or whatever the fuck his name is. I fucking don't
Whatever
care
his
anymore.
name is.
That's it.
Hey, be careful
That's his
now,
brother.
Jimmy. He's probably gonna DM you now because you said this.
Hey, I've had wars with him online before he even
Yeah.
took a screenshot of me
All right,
following him.
Now, guys, for the third time in the show, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, now I'm starting to
A match
doubt this.
a match has never not gotten watched harder than I didn't watch this match. I so aggressively didn't watch it. I had my phone out. What I was doing at this time when I was watching this is I had my phone out and it's my lunch break at work. So I'm, and I was thinking I had like a salad or something and I was trying to fix, you know how you get one of those like prepackaged salads and you got to put all the stuff in it,
Right. Yeah.
and the phone was like
course.
right there with the match going on. And I'd still just refused to look at it. I was just looking directly at the salad, eating it, rather than look over and see like all the, super kicks and all this, all that other stuff. So
The
I could hear
Patiki was
it.
on.
I heard
Yeah.
it. Definitely heard it.
They were parlaying. And to think
Yeah.
that the Rascals, your new shiny little team, they're out here against the Bucks and Private Patiki. And who friggin' wins the match, man?
The old Bucks.
The old Bucks.
The old Young
Wow.
Bucks.
Yeah. come on. I mean, if you want to get heat, if you're trying to be a heel, fine. But they're not. There's clearly baby faces now, and yet they still fucking win, bro. I mean, is it time to put someone else over for once, guys? I'm just saying, like, you know, you damn know they're gonna beat FTR for those belts, right?
Do I know that?
Well, you don't, but you know deep down it's probably more than likely that's what's gonna happen. If there was two teams that I couldn't be less interested in having a match for these damn belts, I mean, shit.
But Jimmy, with one important difference. This time, the Young Bucks are the baby faces and FTR is the heels.
Oh, God.
It's going to be a totally different match. I'm sure it's going to not resemble anything that they've ever done before.
No, nothing similar when it comes to these four, shall I say,
Stupid idiot.
that's what I would think of them.
Well, in any case, the Bucks win, like you said. And speaking of that, FTR comes out to congratulate them on their win. I say congratulate, but they do that same thing that Axon likes to do, where he says something like it's a question, then pulls the microphone away before they can answer. But they don't really put up with that like most other teams. They just super kick.
Thank God. I popped for that. That I was down for. That was good.
Well, if there was ever a time to super kick, it would have been that.
Yeah, 100% agree with it.
You know, I would also just argue that, well, I mean, that was only one set of super kicks. They should have just popped back up, because what does a super kick do anymore? A super kick's like an arm drag now.
It's definitely an arm drag. It's nothing, but not in this case. That must have been a super duper kick. Yeah.
And being previously exhausted from a match they just had, I guess, wasn't a thing either.
Nah, these guys are still young, bro.
It was probably because they didn't have any foot injuries, because you saw what happened with Ciampa's knee, right? So
right.
Like
well, in these cases,
so their feet were perfectly fine during this match, no foot heat. So that's probably what allowed them to like put a flush super kick right on the chin and knock him out.
It was a flash knockout.
Yeah. So speaking of guys that got their neck fucked, Will Ospreay has a package here just to remind everybody he's on his way back. And then
How bad did he look, by the way? That footage of him, like right after surgery, it looked like he looked puffed up, dude. He looked really bad.
Well, nobody looks good after surgery.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true. But sorry, please continue.
Well, your main event of the evening is the Toxic Spider Tekla versus the Chris Straplander.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? I mean, you remember I said last week she looked good for once? Well, we've gone backwards again, Vet. We actually gone backwards again. I don't know. Those straps that she had on was just a bit, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me, just quietly. But anyway, I'm just saying.
Well, did Tekla do it for you? Because even though it was dark interference,
it was dark interference. Yeah, a bit later though,
and a spear and a stomp. One spear and one stomp later, you're new AEW Women's Champion Tekla. Was this a surprise to you?
Yeah, it was actually. I mean, has she earned, in your opinion, to become AEW Women's Champion? I mean, they're hot-shotting this belt, man, really bad, in my opinion. Since Tony Storm, it's just hot-shotting galore going on here.
Well, it was Statlander from Tony Storm, so I guess they haven't been hot-shotting it.
Oh no, but didn't Tony lose it again in between, and then she won it back pretty quick, if I remember correctly, to someone?
I guess, but not. I don't know. Look, the point is, it's not the belt that's being necessarily hot shotted itself, because it's just that. But this is the other thing where I was like, okay, so we're doing this, but now what's Grand Slam got? Like, were they already not going? Like, was this not? They weren't going to go, so they just had to do this. And
I guess
I don't really understand what was the purpose of doing it now. Other than it's a nice surprise. I don't think it was a bad idea, but it just made me immediately think of like, so that's another title change that you're not going to get on Grand Slam. That's just on a random Dynamite. So I was just wondering the thought behind that, but
they just weren't going, so they had to do it, I guess. I mean, that's what it comes across as. And Tekla, look, I love her aggressiveness. Oh, she's very aggressive, and I like that, right? But she's like a little bulldog, I guess, the way she claws and scratches and just goes hard. But again, for a smaller chick, she throws around the big chicks a bit too easily, and I don't like that, man, in many ways. It's like, I get it, she's a spider, a toxic spider, whatever the fuck she is. At least do some biting fucking things since you're a spider. You might as well, like, you might as well start biting. Why not?
I bite a little bit here and there.
Yeah, but like, I can picture her being the type, like she got Statland all bloody, right? For example, I could picture her just biting into the blood and having all blood all over her face. And you know, she does those weird sort of facials. I could just see her doing all that shit. You might as well. If you're a toxic spider, by all means, bite them all. But I feel like, I don't know if she's earned her right to be the champion of the world in AEW right now. I mean, that's just me. But then again, who am I to judge?
I don't know, man. She must have done something right. You could draw your own conclusions. I don't know.
I'm not suggesting anything, but she must be doing something right for sure.
No, I mean, but I like her. I listened to her Talk is Jericho interview and listened to her talk about, you know, her start in wrestling and coming up through it and just her general, you know, her little attitude and stuff. Like, you know, I like her. She's not that humble. So she's not like, she's not completely arrogant, but she's also not like, oh, I'm just so grateful for everything. She's kind of like me, where she's just like, yeah, I'm the best or whatever, you know, and she's like,
really?
It's kind of joking, but kind of not, you know? So it's like,
well, maybe
she says it with a smile, just like me. So like I sort of relate that the way she talks about herself and her experiences. She doesn't seem like she's a stuck up bitch. She just doesn't feel like she's, you know, like, so I'm just so grateful for the opportunity.
I hate that shit too, by the way. But yeah. No, so I mean, maybe I need to listen. Right. Well, maybe I need to listen to that Jericho podcast to get to know her, because I'm just judging her by what I see.
Right. And, but you're not, and you can't like get to know her, because with this gimmick that she has,
right,
that's not going to be like a real person. That's no real person calls themselves a toxic spider. So this is not like, you know, yeah.
No, you're right. I mean,
if I have to hear how she assaulted the Stardom president one more fucking time, you know, we get it.
Maybe she needs to win me over a little bit. I like her aggressiveness. Like I said, she just annoys me a little bit. Labra says, I'm over Tekla's back bend. Okay, you bendy, we get it. I don't know, leave it to Bray, man. You know, let's just retire that. But she's a spider, so I get why she does it.
Well, according to her, she'd been doing that for a long, long time.
What, before Bray even was doing it, she's saying?
Probably.
Really? Do you believe her?
I don't know.
She does do it better. She can achieve it much better than Bray does. And what I mean by that, she can walk relatively at a quicker pace doing that shit compared to, say, Bray. But the fact that Bray was a way bigger dude and pretty pudgy, the fact that he could do that is pretty impressive, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, so then all that happens, but of course, even though she just won the championship, there's no time for celebration because they're sore winners. So they have to kick the shit out of Statlander some more as a team, as a unit, and then here come to make the save, the Brawling Birds, Jimmy.
Oh, yuck. What a fucking
for a good old-fashioned Donnybrook.
Yeah, right, because they're both from England, huh? Windsor and what's her name? Freaking red knob. Forgot Jamie Hayter. I mean, come on. Really? The Birds? They should have called them the Lassies or something
spiders.
Like that.
Birds win. Birds usually
I mean,
win.
there are bird-eating spiders around though,
That's
dude.
true. I guess
So,
it's all in the positioning and
yeah, it's true. So you don't know, you never know. But J12, to answer your question, by the way, she's 32. And she's trained by Japanese wrestlers, which is quite impressive, I guess. Just quietly. 32 years old. I thought she was younger than that, Vet.
well, she's not.
That's just got plenty of time.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. The toxic birds. Chirp, chirp, pal.
Yeah. All right.
That's
well,
good.
anyway, in a much more streamlined show, we now have Grand Slam in Australia. And
was it a Grand Slam? We'll find out.
for me, this was personally, this was like a grounder into a double play, basically. Not really loving it.
Eesh.
But
this felt like a house show for real, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's meant to be like a mini pay-per-view type deal, like ish, like a free for view.
I get it.
Like they focus more on the matches, but I don't know, like the matches on Dynamite seemed a little bit better, considering we got title changes,
Yeah, I mean, I'm comparing it from last year too. Last year's Grand Slam was actually quite friggin' good, in my opinion. This one just, I don't know, it just didn't hit the same, and I was excited to see it, because it was, in my neck of the woods. But again, the power of the portal was happening again. I jumped in. Weird. Yeah.
Well, in any case, we're opening up with Moxley versus Takeshita for the Continental title.
Yeah. The people's champ, bro.
People's champ. Yeah.
The people's champ.
And he gave the people every minute that he had, which was all 20 minutes, because this ends in a draw.
Oh, boy.
Perhaps predictably, but Takeshita does hit a raging fire on him after the fact, which, man, if he had only just done that like a minute sooner, we would have had a new champion, but apparently he just couldn't pull it off.
And you know what? This is the new righteous friggin' Moxley too, and we'll get to that when we do, but yeah, I guess great match. The people were jumping, I'll give them that. The fans were excited, bro. They were very much behind Takeshita too, though, which is odd. I felt like Takeshita was more over than Moxley. Was I hearing things, or do you agree?
Well, I think we discussed this about Takeshita, where they sort of booked him into the sympathetic role because they're looking at the booking of him.
Right.
And they're like, this guy deserves better than this, so we're going to cheer for him.
Yeah, I can see that. Still, I found that kind of surprising. I mean, there was Moxley chance, don't get me wrong, but like at one point they really got on the side of Takeshita. It felt like,
yeah, they should want to chant for Moxley. I mean, after all, wasn't it your guys' skinhead movie that he stole everything from? It's like, of course, their hero.
Yeah, I thought of that. I thought he was in Russell Crowe's neck of the woods. So maybe he met up with him and got some pointers. Who knows? But yeah, that's exactly the movie that he based himself off. Have you seen that yet, Vet, by the way?
Of course not. I'm never going to.
Oh, you should watch it so you can just laugh at it.
Look, sorry. This is my turn. Okay. You get to do this all the time. This is my turn. I don't think Australians or New Zealanders know how to make a movie, personally. Kind of weird at it. Your biggest guy is like George Miller, probably. And even those movies are weird. No,
I agree with you. The
Mad Max movies are like kind of weird.
I don't like Mad Max, straight up. I hate Mad Max. I fucking think it sucks. There are a few Aussie movies that are actually good, but it's very, 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 very like.
Well, they have to be. There have to be some good ones, but I'm just saying, by and large, I don't prefer the style of filmmaking that
I know what you're
Australian
saying.
films kind of, you know
It's
what I
gritty,
mean, right?
It's very gritty. It's not as shiny.
Gritty, or
and,
they'll like use weird
I know what you're
angles
saying.
and
Right.
yeah, just it's, you know.
No. Look, man. I don't know if you thought you were going to offend me, but you didn't, because I actually totally
Oh,
agree.
yeah.
I think the whole world will say that American movies are actually number one in terms of everything. Like,
Well, yeah,
maybe
we
it's not as
invented
good
it.
as it
We
used to
invented
be,
making
but, you know,
movies.
but
We make movies, pal.
that's true. That's your specialty, Vid, especially your neck of the woods. That's
Yeah,
what you do, bro.
Yeah, mine. We all do it up here in NorCal. Hollywood's up
Well,
here, but
I'm talking about California in particular, like, you know, because LA is in California. But you know what I'm saying? It's true.
right. But anyway, neither here nor there. That's over with, and then we get.
I was gonna say, and New Zealand, the movies are the worst, just quietly, except for Once Were Warriors. That's it. Great movie.
Yeah, Peter Jackson should never be allowed to have millions of dollars. But we get a promo yet from the Toxic Champ.
Primniet.
Promo yet.
I love that. That's too good.
And yeah, so their Australia is just sitting there watching her, be like, well, I guess we don't get to see the champ in person.
Not at all.
And then we get Mega Bad versus the Babes of Wrath, also a title match, if I'm not mistaken. Which Mega Bad Mega Bad earned their title shot by beating them in a match. So can they do it twice? Yeah, the answer is no, they can't. Harley Cameron, I was watching Harley because I always, you know me, I love to watch Harley Cameron and Megan Bain, because Megan Bain only sells for Harley Cameron and nobody else. So I just wanted to see how it went.
Must be best friends.
It must be.
They must.
But it's actually, but it's actually a Harley backslide on Penelope that ends this match. A nice backslide. When do you ever see a backslide anymore, let alone win?
Good point. You just don't these days, and especially with the win. But that's a great take. Actually, you don't see it.
It's so rarely seen that all these kids these days have forgotten how to counter it, so they get beat by it. So if you want to win a match, use a backslide, because all these young punks these days don't know how to counter.
I wonder whose idea that was too. Funny enough,
maybe Dean Malenko was in the back with a newspaper and was like, "Oh, let's try a backslide."
I've heard he's the biggest dickhead in the professional wrestling industry, dude.
Yeah, he probably was saying it sarcastically, and they took his advice.
Yeah, and they did it anyway. Yeah, for sure.
We got an extremely short promo yet from the Demand.
And what were they demanding, Vid?
So demanding. But when you're in demand, you can make demands. So I've heard. Now, I want to take this opportunity to talk about, well, maybe I should say, show some love for Ricochet. Not for this. This was whatever. It was too short. It was like 20 seconds. But
true.
So, recently I was talking about the match that he had last week, right? Where him versus Jack Perry, and I said, this is exactly my kind of match. I like to sit back and watch a match like this.
Absolutely.
This is my cup of tea, my a la carte, all this stuff, right? So that was at that time. But since that time, then Jim Cornette also did a review of that match. And
what do you say?
It's clear by what he said in this review that he did not watch the match.
But he reviewed it anyway, right?
He was saying stuff like, and then they did a bunch of flips, and it's like, there were no flips. No, there was no flips in this match.
Oh my God.
They took the opportunity during the match to talk about Ricochet, because Ricochet had also that same week made some comments, I guess, in an interview, right? Someone was interviewing Ricochet again, and he was talking about his time in the WWE, right?
How it ruined Ricochet, the character, like.
Well, yeah, he said we blipped Ricochet out of existence for 5 years or whatever, right? Which Jim Cornette called a Twitter meltdown.
Come on, he's working anyway.
But I'm just saying, like, why do you call it a Twitter meltdown when
It was an interview.
it's an interview? But even if he does say things on Twitter, like he responds to people on Twitter, the things that he says on Twitter, whatever. So you didn't even watch the match. If this was a match, and I said this on the Raw and SmackDown review, if Rob Conway and Nick Dinsmore had this match in OVW, you would be saying this is a textbook match that everybody needs to watch to learn how to work. But because it was Ricochet, you didn't pay attention, and you just assumed that you could say what happened in it because God forbid that you'd ever be wrong about something. Now, I only point this out because I just have a chip on my shoulder lately from not just him, but anybody else. Because sadly enough, when Stevie Richards talked about this and James brought up the thing, and then he played the clip of Jim Cornette, or read the transcript of Jim Cornette, actually,
Right.
what he said about Ricochet in the review. And then he's like, is that accurate? And Steve was like, yeah, that's accurate. But it's like, no, it's not accurate. You're just going along with it. I'm disappointed in everybody because, and this is, let me tell you why I'm disappointed.
Dude. Wow. Even Stevie though, really?
You know, I don't blame Stevie because look, Stevie ain't watching this shit either, but at least he didn't claim to do it. Stevie's not doing a review of Dynamite.
That's true. It's true. It's true.
And James is asking him a question, and Stevie's trying to give an answer. Stevie's not going to say, man, I don't care. Move on.
Yeah,
which is what he really thinks, I'm sure.
100%.
But this is what frustrates me. Guys like Jim Cornette, or guys like Stevie, or guys like Vince Russo, or guys like Ben Hamin, or guys like me, or guys like my friends that work in WWE, or anybody that has talked about WWE and said how that company makes them feel, and how that company, all the bad things and the negative connotations that they put on WWE for the way they run their business, the way they treat the people, the way they were personally treated, and all this stuff. They say all that. When Ricochet says it, all of a sudden everybody's like, fuck you. You're lucky anybody ever paid to. Why can't Ricochet say it? He was there just like you guys were there. If he feels like in the 5 years that he was there and he's working there and he tells you his experience because someone asked him what his experience was, why is he not allowed to feel that way? But everybody else can trash the WWE. But when Ricochet says it, fuck you. Same thing that happened to Ronda Rousey. She said the exact same thing that all these people and me and anybody else that's been around the WWE or has been known people in the WWE or been affected by the WWE, we could all say it, but when Ronda Rousey says it, fuck you. You didn't grow up loving this shit. Fuck you. What do you know? You got knocked out. Like, why is their take on the WWE, which they worked for, in some cases, way more than some of you people? Yeah. Like, Ricochet was there for 5 years.
Absolutely.
Stevie was there for 10. Yeah. You know? Like, those guys can say can say a similar experience. And when you hear Stevie talk about his time in WWE, and then how can you empathize with Stevie and then turn around and tell Ricochet to shut up? I just want a little bit of fairness because
it's hypocrisy.
They're not the problem. People like Ricochet and Ronda Rousey are not the problem. But everybody's calling them out for shit, and I just don't. That doesn't sit well with me. So they're basically validating everything that we say. You know, when Ben comes on here and says all this stuff about the WWE, he never worked in the WWE for a second, but he says all this shit about it, and then Ricochet and Ronda Rousey say stuff that validates what Ben Hamin is saying,
and everyone just shits on him for whatever reason. Yeah, it's true. It's weird, dude. It's a whole bunch of bullshit and hypocrisy going around, man. You can't have it both ways, peeps. It's either one way or the other. Not fucking. He's saying exactly what you think, and then they turn around and be like, "No, but it's Ricochet. Fuck him." ungrateful prick. He got his wife from WWE, for fuck's sake. How can he be miserable? So fucking what? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
she
you
left
said.
too because she didn't
Right.
like it.
Exactly.
So what? I mean, so what? You know? So it's like, anyway, I just felt like I wanted to say that because
No,
not that they need me to stick up for them, but
you have to put
it's
it
like
out there.
I'm
though.
trying to like in the small space that we do that we're trying to grow into a bigger space. We need integrity.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that perspective out there for people. Like when you're listening, don't just take people's word for what they're saying as like a cult of personality thing. Like don't just be like, oh, Jim Cornette says it, so he probably knows what he's talking about. Sometimes he doesn't.
I hate that.
A lot of the
But
time he
people
does.
do feel
A
that
lot
way.
of the time he
Right.
does, but you can sometimes know what you're talking about and also be wrong about stuff. It happens, but
It's okay, right? It happens, right? And that's what's
so
sad, Vet.
just question stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, well, why do people get brainwashed so easily by someone's opinion, which is so bizarre in itself, man? Like,
I can only speculate, and it's probably different for everybody, but if I had to answer your question, I would probably just say because everything else in life is so fucked up all the time and makes you depressed and everything, you want to hear something you can agree with, or at least you could feel like you could agree with, or you could be a part of something.
maybe,
But
yeah, I mean, you're probably onto something for sure. I just don't understand just the bullshit. But anyway, you're spot on, man. I'm glad you did say what you had to say. Someone had to say it.
someone had to say it, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to
Damn
be anybody. If I'm associating with you guys, anybody that I do a co-host, anybody that I'm talking to here in the chat, or anybody that's paying on Patreon, or anybody that's checking it out on YouTube or whatever, anybody that I want you to at least feel like if it's me, I try to avoid that stuff as much as possible. Of course, I have my own narratives and stuff, but a lot of them are clearly marked as jokes. Like I'll say it to make you guys laugh,
Exactly.
whatever. But yeah. Anyways,
No, we appreciate you, Vet. Everyone knows, like Cold Blooded just said, best in the world.
Yeah,
it's true. It's not a gimmick, man. We all feel
Doing
that
my
way,
best.
and that's legit for sure.
And I worked a full hard shift tonight.
Man, I don't know how you do it. I've always said this to you, bro.
Just came straight from work right onto the mic.
I can understand why you be shitty sometimes going right into the show, because I know fucking hell I would be. You know what I mean? Especially if I had a bad night at work. Fuck.
Also forgot something earlier in the match after Harley Cameron won that match, but they got their heat back because somebody else jumped in the ring. Something Cross. I couldn't hear what the announcer.
Aussie chick, Lena Cross, I think her name was.
Lena Cross. Okay,
something like that.
Lena Cross sounds funny. Like
true. Actually, I'll double check what her freaking name is just to be sure. I know it's something Cross, like you said. It is, yeah, Lena Cross. Actually, I was right.
So is she gonna be a mega bad babe? Are they gonna make a trio now?
It seems like it, but that just breaks up the whole Joey's Angels thing that I was going with.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
true.
And I don't like that. But I will say one thing: this chick was taller than Bane, so she's a big chick. I don't like her body though; it looks a bit weird. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. She signed to AEW now, though, officially.
Huh. That'll put some.
Yeah, she's all elite. Yeah, she's even got the graphic.
All right. Well, so back to okay, then the demand promo, then Andrade versus Hang Person. What are your thoughts on this?
Call me bad, but I couldn't get into this match, man. I didn't like it for some reason.
It's Paige.
Am I wrong? Is there something wrong with me?
It was Paige.
It wasn't good, was it? Right?
I just don't like Adam Page's matches.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be that because to be fair to Andrade, he's been having some bangers, bro, for real. So I didn't like it. It could be because of Hangman. I guess I knew what the finish was going to be, really. I mean, yeah, even Cold Blooded feels the same way, so I can't be wrong. I just couldn't get into the match. I didn't care for it. I'm sick of friggin' Hangman. I don't mind Andrade, I just didn't feel there wasn't as much urgency, or what's the word that I'm looking for? I just didn't feel like these two were wrestling like it was important enough, especially considering the other matches that we have on these very shows, especially one that's coming up.
Well, Andrade tried to give him a low blow. but
Tried.
It was countered, and he got a kick in the balls of his own.
Why does he always counter that? Have you noticed? He's literally the low blow kryptonite. If you try to low blow him, forget about it. It's not happening, because he's only got a pussy down there. Clearly, he's got no balls, but he can give it to you right back. Yeah. So I don't get it, man. It's why has he got that power?
I don't know, but he does, and he hits a buckshot lariat after. So
that was movie of the year, by the way, too. Just quietly.
Mm-hmm. Now maybe I can maybe and if there's any legitimate Hangman fans listening, please explain yourselves. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna argue with you. I just want to know if anybody exists. But maybe you can help me with this one, Jimmy. Somebody in the front row was like, I guess, a band named Speed. Apparently they're huge on the Australian music scene.
No, they fucking know. Who said that? They said that.
Excalibur said that, maybe.
I've never heard of Speed other than the drug Speed and the movie Speed. That's the only speeds I know. Oh yeah, I show Speed and driving really fast, that type of speed.
Mm-hmm.
The band though, no, I'm sorry, I've never heard of that. I did go for a piss around here, so maybe I missed Excalibur saying that. I actually missed them even being shown.
It was just one of those quick shots, like the Netflix, when the Netflix shows somebody in the front row like that.
Or they're supposed to be big time.
It's going to be hard to find that with a Google search. You're going to have to specifically say Australian music band Speed.
Oh, here we go. No, I typed Speed band. That's all I typed, and it come up straight away. Speed stylized as Speed, an Australian hardcore punk band from Sydney, formed in 2019. Cool.
Okay. Well,
I mean, what can I say? I mean,
not that huge, I guess. Maybe just huge underground.
I'm trying to see if any of they've only released one true album, and their peak chart position in Australia was number 10. So that's pretty good. Yeah. But they haven't hit the US yet.
Yeah, nor will they ever. All right, let's move on. We don't have much time for this. Orange Storm versus Wheelerina. This is the hair match.
Yes.
And they jump-started it with a brawl in the crowd.
Of course, as usual.
Yuta gave Tony Storm a pile driver on something.
Jesus Christ.
And then Luther carried her to the back. And then a couple of minutes later, she made her come back. Ran back to the ring, made a comeback, and eventually she paid back Yuta with a Storm Zero of her own and 1, 2, 3. And Yuta was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna get my hair cut. Fuck you." And he tried to leave. But of all people, John Moxley, as you said, the righteous John Moxley.
Why,
says,
man?
No, you gotta honor the stipulation, brother.
And he's like, get the fuck back in there, like literally dropping F-bombs. I hate this Moxley fucking whatever he is. Like, seriously, man. Yeah, well, I guess the boss spoke up and he got his hair trimmed by everybody. Not just by Tony, not just by what's the name? Shinakawa. I mean, even Luther freaking cut his hair. It was just like a barber.
I'm surprised Moxley didn't reach over with some scissors.
That would have been funny.
Snip.
That would have been the cherry on top, 100%. One more thing about that band Speed, though, just before we move on. I didn't know, but they've got a song on WWE 2K24, and they're best friends with Post Malone.
Wait, every single one of them is best friends?
Hey,
they're tied for best friend?
That's what it says.
I guarantee you they're not his best friend.
Yeah.
He may be their best friend. They're not his best friend, I bet.
I've never heard of him still until now, but yeah, they do have a WWE 2K24 song.
Hey, all right.
I guess they're getting something.
They should get a Fight Forever song now.
For sure.
All right. Briscoe versus Fletcher. Game
Oof.
7 in a ladder match.
Yikes.
And I'll have you know, Protokata agreed to no interference.
All the way from the US?
Yes.
Ah, I see.
Yeah,
I mean-
because Okada ain't going to Australia.
He's been to Australia plenty of times.
Yeah, but he's not going this time.
not this
He
time.
doesn't have to.
And but it was apparently in the building somewhere, though. Apparently, allegedly.
Oh yeah, sure. Well, no, I mean, this was a clip from like last Wednesday.
100%. I hate that though. It's so obvious.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so it's a ladder match, you know. So if you guys like these kind of things, you know what to expect. Although I don't really there wasn't I'm trying to think, was there anything dangerous or that looked more dangerous than when Kyle got dropped on the stairs by Ciampa? Because that was probably the worst thing, but I'm trying to think if there was any bumps in this.
There was one, the superplex off the top of the ladder from Kyle onto Briscoe, which looked brutal, bro.
Oh, was that the
I don't know if you
brainbuster
missed that.
one?
Yeah, the brainbuster from the top of the ladder, but on the edge of the ring too.
So yeah, that looked like it sucked, but that was after Mark did a J Driller onto the ladder.
Jesus
but
Christ.
This is the thing, for both of those bumps, they didn't get anything out of it because they were both up and fine in moments after that to do the next spot of climbing up the ladder.
Right.
So like even that spot
that,
when that spot with the brainbuster that you're talking about came like, it couldn't have been 3 minutes after, maybe 3 to 5 minutes after the J Driller on the ladder. That should be a finish that knocks, you know, Kyle out of action for 6 weeks. And then he's just up and around like.
It's weird. It's crazy, dude.
You could have done that at the beginning of the match and then just laid there for most of the match and everybody would have bought it because it looked good, but.
It looked crazy. Yeah, of course. But like, that was a risky move though, man. Like just the way
I guarantee you that brainbuster must have sucked to
looked
take
bad
and to give.
You don't do one from that high, man. You just don't.
Yeah, but then they just
that's asking for it.
Yeah, but then they just climbed back up right afterwards and started punching each other off the ladder. Like
psychology out the window, Vet. There's no psychology anymore when it comes to professional wrestling, unfortunately, unless there are ones that just they get it. They understand. But unfortunately, it just seems like a lost art in today's freaking program. It just does. And it's annoying the shit out of me, man. Because I like good psychology. I like storytelling in a ring. And you don't even have to do much to actually get me into it. That's what's even crazier. But I guess this is psychology now by doing brainbusters off the top of a ladder.
Well, here's the thing. They told everybody for so many years now that it's blatantly fake ever since Tough Enough and whatever else. And now they're like, well, we'll just do stuff that's undeniably real.
Let's all break our necks. Yeah.
Yeah. Which would be fine if you would just sell it, but you don't sell it.
No selling it, man. But what goes through their mind, Vet? That's what I want to know. Like when they're laying out this match, like doesn't someone bring up the selling part? Like anyone? Like
I don't know. It was almost like they had to hurry up to get through it because they took too long at the beginning or something. Or like the show was running long, so they had to cram it in. But in that case, I'd just be like, well, we should just save one of these and not do the other one for another time, because even though there won't be another time between these guys apparently, but just okay, so we don't have to do it. We don't have to give each other a crazy finisher, because the only thing people's gonna remember is who won. So there's really no point. But so it was almost like the show was running long and they just sped through the match that they had planned out rather than take your time and do it correctly.
For sure.
Anyways, so the crowd got to see Kyle retain the TNT title in his home country / continent of Australia.
And he's from Sydney, so that is his hometown. That's legit. But did the fans really give a shit about Fletcher? Do you feel?
Not the way you would feel like it, because just like you
They
were talking
did, bro.
about with you were talking about them being hot for Moxley and Takeshita, and I
They
felt
were
like
hot,
they
dude.
really had to kill each other in this to even get the crowd to make a noise, but I wasn't sure if that was just my audio at the time or
legitly, I felt like the fans didn't really like. They didn't even give him a freaking welcoming home type of party. I mean, he's from Sydney. He's one of them, dude. Like, he's literally in his hometown. I was just expecting a lot more. Even for Harley Cameron, I felt she got really nothing for whatever
it's
reason.
kind of weird, right?
It
Well,
is
maybe
weird.
everybody feels like you and just hates Australians. But,
I mean, I
but
told you.
also like it's weird because Fletcher's a heel, so it's like when a heel does a homecoming, people have mixed feelings about it.
Right.
So
maybe it was that, but who knows, man? I just feel like I was expecting more from the fans, especially with Fletcher, but maybe you're onto it.
Well, we're on to the main event. It's Brody King versus MJF.
Did you hear about the controversy again, Vet, that happened during this match?
A controversy.
You know what I'm talking about. We spoke about this last week. What was the chant of the week last week, Vet?
Fuck ice.
Well, guess what? On behalf of Australia, I'm going to apologize for these idiots who are not even in the US, which I don't understand why they freaking were cheering this, but they started doing fuck ice chants in Australia, bro. I'm so sorry. That's corny as fuck to me. You're not in America, guys. Please don't embarrass us. Hello?
Oh, don't worry. No one's watching.
Yeah. But no shit. I think half of these idiots don't even know what the fuck ice is.
No?
In a way.
They don't. But you know who does? Bandito. And he's here cheering his partner on. And you know, he's really doing his best to will Brody King to a win here. We got everything that Brody King could offer, including a fat guy crossbody. He tried it. He tried his sleeper choke thing again and got bitten. You know, just it was a bunch of stuff. Even for an MJF match, it's like I like MJF. He's one of my a la cartes, but at the same time, a Brody King is like that's just like finding a hair in your soup. I don't want it. I don't want this anymore. Sorry. There's nothing that you could do that makes me want to watch Brody King do anything. And so I ignored a good portion of this, but I was also very tired at the time I was watching it because I woke up early before work to try to get Grand Slam in because I didn't think I would have time at work. So,
dude, that's just going to piss you off even more. Why would you do that to yourself?
No choice. I'm the best in the world. So,
well, you are for doing that. That's for sure.
So I have to, so it's things like that I have to do. But anyways, so you know, at MJF hits the an apron pancake, I guess you want to call it. Oh, he tried to do the kangaroo. He did the kangaroo kick.
I forgot about it too.
It sounded like the crowd completely forgot about that whole thing.
Hey, Hick, I forgot.
Barely. You could only hear a very small amount of people like coming up for it, but
yeah, it's strange, man. I thought the crowd just, I don't know, man. It wasn't as hot as the year before in Brisbane. I'll say that. But the main event itself, it was fine. It was long though as hell. But nevertheless, MJF is still your champ, though.
Yep, he hits the heat seeker, and there it is. And then Hang Person comes out, and he signs the contract. Oh my God, I'm signing this contract, and then he like acts like he's gonna stab MJF with the pen, and MJF flinches, and then there you go.
And then we're done with this damn show. I feel like, and we'll get to that. Oh no, actually, we'll get to that now. MJF at least was being MJF, you know what I mean? But the thing that was annoying me about him, he was going around the Australian media circuit. He was on the Today Show, the Australian version of the Today Show, and he's just being a full-blown MJF, you know?
Mm-hmm.
just destroying everything about Australia. Like they say the beaches are here, one of the best in the world, but in America there's 10 times the better beaches. You know, he's just playing up the hill and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But he was even talking about Bondi Beach and you know what happened there, for example. It's like, dude, don't have to like full on play the Jewish card all the time, man. Like, we get it, we know, you know. So, but still, I get it. But at the same time, you have these states out a little bit too much these days. I feel.
Nah, more MJF, please.
Oh,
Also,
no,
listen
hey,
to his
MJF.
Chris Van Vliet interview, which is hilarious.
Is it new?
Yeah.
When did that come out?
Whenever that was the last interview that he did.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out. For sure, 100% gotta check that out. Well, Vet, I think we can call it a wrap. We've just done under 2 hours as we usually do every time. So tell them what you're up to. You jumping on the Twitch right after this too, by the way.
Probably. So at Opinion Haver there, at Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms, at Opinion Haver on the brand. This past week, if you didn't hear my Raw SmackDown review and Master Shoot Theater appearances, you can check those out if you like. And be sure to clamor. That's the word. Clamor for more appearances on the brand. Tell them you want me on the Lions, Tigers, Bears, and Vet. Tell them you want me on the Black and Vet with Stevie Ray. Tell them you want them on. Yeah, tell them you want me on everything.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, 100%.
As for HMG, you already know where to find me. You know, it's every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, with Brandon for the Impact Attack, where we talk about TNA. You know, it's Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. The Big Ray Hernandez for the Next Level Wrestling Review, where we talk about NXT. And you also know that it's every Friday, unless it's a Thursday, for Wrestling with Rip Rogers live. So you're going to want to check that out. It's every Thursday now for the Stevie Richards Show. And that is, they are growing exponentially. I think they're even up to over 160,000 now. So we're going to have to update the graphic again. But, you know, he and James doing great. And Limpin' Ain't Easy with Timmy Baltimore, still climbing up the ranks. And just go ahead and subscribe to all those channels and click the notification bell so you know no matter what time they go on, you'll be able to partake. And I think that's just about everything, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, as far as I go, check out our Valentine's edition of the Smack Attack with myself and R to the B to the V. And actually, Ben also joined us on that show halfway through, so look out for that. If it's still up on the YouTube, if it's not, I'm afraid it'll be on the Patreon. But check out that show. That was a great show with myself, RBV, and the Ayatollah himself, bin Hamin. Also Tuesday morning, at 10 a.m. Eastern, it is myself and Big Ray Hernandez for I Like It Raw, where we talk Monday Night Raw. Check that out. And of course on Sundays, right here, 11 a.m., That Wreckage with myself, the Vet, and the Professor should be back from assignment next week. So we'll be a threesome again. Are you excited, Vet? Come on. We're the best three.
Best three in the world. Definitely excited.
Right.
Don't forget, speaking of excited, don't forget the hottest, freshest.
Yes.
Fresh out your mama's kitchen show on HMG.
Yeah, it is called Insanity, where we talk JCW lunacy right here on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel with myself and Whoop Brandon. Vet, have you seen the intro to that show by any chance yet?
To your guys' show?
Yeah. Do you want to laugh? Can I show you? You'll be pleasantly surprised. All right, check it out.
Who loans your money, homie? Who owes you cash? Who taught you how to use the bond for the glass? I don't know much, but I gotta assume that when you hit your first net, your homies was in. You talk about homies, homies. Talk about the dogs of love. Motherfucking homies, homies. My dog, talk about homies, homies. Talk about the dogs of love.
Oh boy, you can thank RBV for that one. So thank you, RBV. I guess we're jugglers now. I mean, we're officially
You're the
jugglers.
juggler.
Or the juggler, yeah,
with
exactly.
the juggler. That's a deep. That's off the first
deep
ICP
cut.
album.
Oh, you're a fan of ICP?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I used to be. Yeah.
Wow.
Back in the day.
Wow,
Well, I mean,
no
I
way.
I know their music, but
Right, that's funny. I would have never thought. That's actually that tripped me out. I love this shit with 3-6 Mafia. Now that's some hardcore shit. They brought out an album with 3-6 Mafia. That album, that's a banger, dude, but pretty disturbing at the same time. But anyway, we're not here to talk ICP. Check out Lunacy, which is Insanity, where we review Lunacy every Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel. So if you're into that, go check it out. And that's about it. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. He is the best in the world, Jamie the Vet Williams, and you've been listening and watching the
Wreckage.
Boy, right here live on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel and on the Patreon after the fact. Till next time, peace out, much love, and we'll see you soon. See yous.